Christmas week is upon us, and tonight, a little precursor to the holiday week, It's the Nightmare Before Christmas, presented by High Gear Racing. We wish you good evening and welcome to iRacing's virtual Talladega Superspeedway for tonight's production of HGR action. Again, it is the Nightmare Before Christmas. First, want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday, and also Happy 2026. Next time that I come to you for live action, it will be 2026. A lot to cover tonight, a lot to get to. It is a big field, a full 43 truck field set to take to the high banks of Talladega tonight for a $250 winning payout. Some really nice paydays on the stage tonight. Also, it is the continuation of the road to the 2026 PGR 500. It continues tonight in this race with HGR action from Talladega. Qualifying done, over with. It's time to put trucks on the grid and get ready to go racing from Talladega Superspeedway. As guys start to get down on the grid, we'll meet the field here in just a moment. For High Gear Racing action from Talladega, my name is Dawson Wise. Happy to have you with me on PGR eSports for tonight's action at Talladega Superspeedway. 77 laps on tap. How will they start? Let's find out right now. On the starting grid, it's the Nightmare Before Christmas, and on pole position, no surprise here, it is the driver of the 14 machine on the timing and scoring night, but it's that so iconic number 6 on the side of that truck tonight. That's the gold and black entry of Cody Dagles. He'll start on pole with a time of 55.091 seconds. It is outside, starting on the outside of row number 1. It's going to be the 18, one of the youngsters in the series. It's Wyatt Gray. He'll go just a little bit off that pole time. You see, to the 4th digit on the pole time was the qualifying efforts here tonight. It's Gray going from 2nd. Row 2, a name I have not seen in a long time. It's Logan Helton, established super speedway veteran and winner everywhere he's gone. He'll start from 3rd tonight in this one. On his outside, it's the defending winner of the SummerSlam 499 2 years running, and a former PGR champion. It's Malik Ray, one of the winningest drivers in money racing over the past 365 days. He'll go from position number 4. Back on row 3, it's John Ellis Jr. has slowly made a return to the money racing scene. He'll go from 5th tonight in this one. And to his outside, it is the all-too-famous number 60 of Jeff Merck. Row 4 going to be Dylan Jones in the 011 tonight. Alongside him, it's Gabe Butler in the 88, another super speedway vet making an effort in the money racing scene tonight. Familiar Guinness colors aboard that Chevy Silverado. He'll go from the outside of row 4. On row 5, it's Richard Elliott in the 02 machine. Alongside him, it's Gordon Spain, one of the best stories of the SummerSlam last August. He'll go from position 10 tonight, trying to put his name on the money racing map once again. Row 6, it's Matthew Baker, usually a race control on Thursday nights. He's got the truck off the trailer tonight. He'll go from position number 11. To his outside, it is the man for the Jack Shack. It's the 23 of David Flanagan, who happened to win last night's recruitment race. The PGR 500, a great showing for that team. He'll go from 12th, trying to put more on the board here tonight. On row 7, it's his teammate. It's the 89 of Trevor Osborne, one of the captains of the Jack Shack. He'll go from position 13. It's Hunter Hastings that will go from position number 14 in the 44 machine. Row 8 is going to be Robert Richardson in the 49. Alongside him will be Kevin Allen in truck number 76. Row 9, David Davis goes from the 777s in position number 17. It's the 00 of Michael Barksdale that will go from position number 18. On row 10, it's Todd Merkel, the final truck to take a qualifying time in 19th. Alongside him, the defending winner of the PGR 500 and a multi-time PGR eSports sanction race winner, it's Daniel Falkingham in position number 20 in car number 39. Row 11, Stephen Miles has slowly made his return to the money racing scene ahead of the PGR 500. He'll go from 21st. It's Joey Masowicz making an appearance tonight in truck 64. He'll go from 22nd. Ryan Kelly will go from position number 23 tonight. Alongside him, it's Andrew Peleschi, or Peleschi, shall we say, in truck number 81. He'll go from 24th. Back on row number 13, it's Maxwell Caldwell in the 94 machine. He'll go from 25th. Alongside him, another veteran of the super speedway scene, it's Cole Larson in truck number 20. He's made an appearance tonight as well. Row 14, another truck for the Jack Shack banner. Listed as the number 40, imagine you'll see a bright number 1 aboard that machine. It's Joe Huerta from position number 27. And D3, Daniel Eberhardt, a multi-time winner of these big-time races. He'll go from 28th in truck number 90. In row number 15, it's Austin Call in the 6 machine. He'll go from 29th. And J.R. Miller makes an appearance tonight. For Team PGR, he'll go from 30th in truck number 78. Row 16, it's the captain for Dega Pros. It's John Ward, the 92, who'll go from 31st. Josh McCullough listed 32nd on the starting grid tonight in truck number 46 on your timing and scoring. Row 17, it's Sean Corbett in the 45, also now running under the Dega Pros banner. It's Heath Jobe in the 760 that'll go alongside him in 34th position. Row number 18, Kenny McCullough Jr., the captain from McCullough Motorsports, will go from 35th. It's Tucker McClendon in truck 67 on the side on the timing and scoring. On the side of the truck, imagine you'll see 00. He'll go from 36th position. Rounding out the rest of the field tonight, Danny Barnes will go from 37th in the 7 machine. It's Matt Patton back in 38th in truck number 3. Row 20, it's going to be William H. Scott Jr. in the 25, and Garrett Jenkins in 40th in the 11 machine. Back on row number 21, it's Mark Von Dell in the 59, another McCullough entry, and Corey Cheney goes from 42nd in the 13 machine. Final truck on the grid tonight is the 19 of Hunter Izell. So 43 trucks set to do battle at Talladega here in just a moment. We'll roll them off the grid and get you ready for 77 laps of action here tonight at Talladega. This should be a fun one right before the Christmas season begins. And we all kind of take a holiday break and take some time away to be with family and loved ones. Had to get one more big race under the belt headed into the holiday season. Again, this is the Nightmare Before Christmas. 77 laps. There are no fast repairs in the pits for these drivers. 3 green-white checkers available at the end of the race should we need them. And it should be a great one here tonight from Talladega. So happy that you've joined me. Trucks are rolling. We're off the grid. And we're ready to get this one going from Talladega. It is a long list of established names that have made the field tonight. A full 43 trucks. A lot of winners. A lot of combined starts in multiple money racing promotions tonight. League starts, money racing starts. Drivers from all over the circuit have made their way to virtual Talladega Superspeedway tonight to be a part of this one. If you have not watched the trucks yet since the update, they are a little bit different than they were just a little bit ago. The side draft a little bit more effective now. You have to really pick and choose your lanes. The slam drafting is still going to be a big part of tonight's race. But the trucks have been slowed down quite a bit. You can push several trucks deep in line, really get lines moving. It races similarly to the next gen, not quite the same, but somewhat similarly. So a little bit different style of racing that we can come to expect here tonight in this one as compared to the old truck package, going back just a little bit to just a few weeks ago. 72 degrees outside, 82% humidity. See there on the right side of your screen. Track temp tonight. Hot, 111 degrees at Talladega Superspeedway for this one. It is a hot one. Temps will be running warm under the hoods of these Craftsman trucks. Guys will have to manage their temps, trying to push on the back of the truck in front of them. Have to be careful not to pop the motor early in this one. Got to be careful and make sure you can make it to the end of this race. Tell you what, a lot of guys have been looking forward to this one. I can tell you that much right now, and boy, am I looking forward to it too, seeing the trucks that are in this session, the drivers that have made their way to virtual Lincoln, Alabama. It's a loaded field of some of the best in money racing, in super speedway racing as a whole, that are ready to take it on from Talladega, one of the most infamous tracks on the circuit. I'm ready. The drivers are ready. I hope you are as well. Into the tri-oval. 77 laps await us. It's the Nightmare Before Christmas, and who better to start it than Nightmare Zone Cody Nagels. Green flag is in the air. We're racing from Talladega. Trucks work their way off turn 4 into the trial. A lot of guys singling out towards the back half of this field, but up front it's hot and heavy right at the front of the field. Lap 1 goes to Jeff Merck by a nose as the NBG entry gets the push right out front. New look aboard that 60 machine tonight. He's pushed by Gabe Butler in the 88. The veterans in the trucks in this field, one of the best in this combination. No surprise to see him working towards the front. Nagel's already relegated to third on the inside. Merck to the inside of the push of Gray. Butler now leads the outside with the help of Gordon Spain, who's the lead pusher up in that outside lane as they work down the Alabama gang super stretch and off into turn number 3 for one of the first times tonight. 2 on the board, 75 to go when they get back. Merck still on the inside. Good push from Wyatt Gray, but the outside evening up so far as Gabe Butler may take his first time out front tonight. About 12 deep in either line. Back to Joe Huerta in the 22nd position is where that 2 wide ends and the single file begins. A lot of guys wanting to ride and wait this race out. See how it turns out early before they start to make a move towards the front of the field. Outside gets a big run into turn 1. Gordon Spain turns left. 38 to the inside of Gabe Butler. Butler led at the line, but it's Spain that leads to turn 2. But the outside now's got a little bit better pushing. Gabe Butler on the push of Matthew Baker in the 5, that black, pink, and silver machine up in the outside lane. Trevor Osbornoff, new colors for his truck. You may recognize that green from his Gen 6 paint scheme. He's third on the outside now for the Jack Shack. Baker turns left. He's to the inside of Butler. Osbornoff will go with him. One more truck going to go with both of them. David Flanagan now to the inside along with all of those trucks as they work all the way to the front. Excuse me, that is not Osbornoff. I made a mistake. Osbornoff's in his usual black and red colors. That is second on the outside now. That is Flanagan with the bright green. So they're confusing me just a little bit here early in this one, but it's Flanagan to the outside. He had a good night last night in the recruitment race and looking to go right to the front of the Nightmare Before Christmas on lap 4. He's going to get a good push from Gabe Butler. He went up and around Matthew Baker, who's now relegated to the inside of the push of Gordon Spain. It's Flanagan to the lead for the Jack Shack. Butler on the push there. Osbornoff follows behind. Kevin Allen not far behind them, and that is where you'll find Cody Nagels, who has gotten back to the outside. Butler turns left. He goes to the inside. Now it's a pair of teammates in the middle with Flanagan pushed by Osbornoff. Inside is Butler pushed by Baker, but the inside starts to fall apart just a little bit. Guys further back looking to the outside. Spain was one of them. Nagels thought about 3 wide around Kevin Allen. Nobody willing to go with him as Allen now is third on the outside lane. Outside's got 3 trucks clear. Nagels is going to come forward and make it 4 as the Jack Shack trucks go 1-2 off turn 4 and down to the start-finish line. At the line, still Flanagan over Osbornoff. Allen turned left, went to the bottom on the push of Gabe Butler. Nagels again trying to test 3 wide. Gordon Spain trying to fill the gap, not willing to go. Now he's going to go with Nagels. Jack Shack trucks in the middle. Flanagan, big block to the safer barrier. Flanagan throws the first big block of the night. It's only lap 5. He goes to the wall to Nagels and Spain. Going backwards is Osbornoff in the sucker hole. Merck fourth on the outside. Couple other trucks coming forward in what is now the 3rd lane. Nagels top all the way to the bottom. He wants to lead in 3. Nagels aggressive with it into turn number 3. He'll go to the push of Kevin Allen. Flanagan up in the middle on the push of Gordon Spain. That is the middle lane, and it disintegrates back down to 2 wide. Osbornoff wanted to go 3 wide. He'll get some help now. Who better than Logan Helton that's going to go with him? Daniel Eberhardt's not too far behind them. Joe Huerta coming forward as well. So the best coming forward early. 3 wide again. Osbornoff leads it. Merck wants to take a look up there as well. He's going to look to the right rear of Gordon Spain, and it's 3 wide, 5 rows deep. Flanagan still in the middle, leading the race on the push of Spain. Flanagan's going to throw another block. This one's on Jeff Merck. Big block. It's going to force Helton down to the middle as the momentum got stopped up. Nagels jumps up on Spain's bumper, trying to hold off that advance from Flanagan. Not going to work. Look who's bailing out. Malik Ray, 10 rows deep, says, I don't want any part of this. I'm dropping all the way to the back and getting myself out of harm's way early. Flanagan leads back to 3. Merck now down in the middle on the push of Nagels. He goes second, but only for a moment because Osbornoff has worked his way all the way back up to the front. Logan Helton found his way back 3rd in line in that group. Eberhardt 4th, Huerta 5th, John Ellis coming forward behind them. And now to the front comes John Ward also. Matt Patton's in that line as well, up top against the wall, and now the lead group is up against the wall. This is a bit new for this truck package. Guys running it similarly to the old style Gen 6 or Next Gen package where you'd want to be up against the wall, and the moves are looking awfully similar to get to the lead. Helton down. Here comes Flanagan to side draft. He's going to bring his teammate Trevor Osbornoff down with him, and they work off the turn 2 and onto the Alabama gang super stretch. Already 7 up and down tonight so far. It's going by quickly, but it is incredible racing so far. Flanagan in the middle still leads the way. Third line's disintegrated. Now it's going to try to jump out again. John Ellis wants a piece of the third lane. Everhart's going to jump out in front of him. Baker's going to go with him, and so is Cody Nagels. And all of a sudden, it's 4 trucks in the outside, 3 wide up front again. Helton's back bumper cover has come off. The rear bumper cover is off the back of the 63. Big block topside. Flanagan, trouble! Helton's going to spin. Merck right in front of the field. They go around in the trial. The trucks get collected, and the first crash of the night on lap 7 as trucks scramble to avoid it. And it started when Logan Helton's back bumper cover came off on the push from, I want to say it might have been Merck on the bottom side. That bumper came off and Helton's truck got around. Usually you see guys be able to gather it up. Even when they're getting pushed, they can gather it up. Helton stepped out from underneath him in a horrible spot right in front of the entire field. He's only going to collect a few trucks here. It could have been a lot worse. Let's go back, take another look here, try to get an idea of where exactly this bumper cover came off as well. I mean, you'll see it fly off on the camera shot. See right here in turn 3, he's got one, and all of a sudden it's just going to kind of phase off. You'll kind of see it right there. We'll try to find you a better angle of that here in just a moment. Then coming off turn 4, Jeff Merck is trying to square up the 63 to give him a push. And unfortunately, it's going to send the 63 into a bit of a slide. I thought Helton may have been bailing out to try to go to the back, but it's just Merck trying to keep the line moving. He's got that truck sawing back and forth. You see the 63 going back, forth, back, forth. This is where it gets weird, is he just loses it here. This has not happened before. Guys haven't really lost aerodynamic grip. When that back bumper comes off, Helton does, spins back across the track. Jeff Merck gets collected. That's a hit right on the left rear wheel well. Gordon Spain actually gets collected as well as Hastings worked up the track to miss this. Tucker McClendon, I think, is the other truck involved right there. There's another truck in it as well. That's the 49 of Robert Richardson. That is the other truck that gets in this. 777's David Davis, I think, may have missed it. A couple others go spinning through the grass out back as well. So one other truck involved, that's the 25 of William Scott Jr. So actually several trucks involved. It could have been a lot worse than it was. We'll try to give you a better angle of what I was talking about earlier with that back bumper cover. So let's try to find one where you can really see this back bumper cover come off in the middle of the corner. It's right there. You saw it right there. Let's try to find one that gives us a little better angle off the back of the truck. This may be the one right here. You may not be able to see behind the truck, but you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Right in the middle of the corner, it's going to just kind of phase off the truck. Right there. You see it just disappears. And the truck is wide open. The back of the truck comes open. And Helton at this point is along for the ride when he's getting these pushes from Jeff Merck. Further back, Gordon Spain is going to get collected by Hunter Hastings. You see Merck go around. Here's Spain. Gabe Butler jumps on the brakes. There's the 49 of Richardson. Daniel Falkingham actually is going to get into Richardson at the end of that. We didn't catch that in the camera shot, so Falkingham is in it as well. I don't think there's major damage on either of those trucks, but damage nonetheless. As multiple guys get involved, take one more look at it from high above, give you a little bit better angle of kind of what happens after Logan Helton gets turned. You'll see Helton up ahead. He's going to start to slide. And again, this is at about the worst possible position that Helton could have gone around. Right in front of the field, but great job by a lot of guys. You see Butler, Kevin Allen, Dylan Jones, Wyatt Gray jump out of the gas and go immediately to the grass and try to miss that one. You see Richardson hitting Merck out back. McClendon, I think, got a piece of that as well. I think that's that orange and white Tennessee truck right there, labeled the 26. Wyatt Gray having to slide through the grass. See another truck coming through. That's the 2 of Todd Merkel. And here's Falkingham. He committed to the bottom lane. It didn't quite work, and he almost gets through it. But collects Robert Richardson right there. So multiple trucks involved. A pretty sizable incident early in the going at Talladega in the Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm not exactly surprised. Considering the racing that we saw early in this one, I'm not particularly surprised. After the racing, we saw that incident occurred, especially at the front of the field, as hard as those guys were racing. An early one under the belts of these drivers. They're ready to strap back in and go at it again, though. We'll have 67 to go when we go back green on lap number 11. Matt Patton, John Ellis are the front row for this restart. Pair of teammates on row 2. It's Trevor Osbornoff and David Flanagan. Row 3, Cody Nagels and Matthew Baker. Row 4, John Ward working to the front for the first time tonight. Joe Huerta, same thing in the 8th spot. Row 5 going to be Hunter Hastings and Gabe Butler. Again, 67 to go. Can tell you, J.R. Miller did not make the grid tonight. He was supposed to be in the 43 truck grid. He did not quite make it, so 42 started. I believe all are still running as of right now, including Joey Masowicz and Robert Richardson, along with Michael Barksdale, who are laps down at this point in the race. So only 3 cars off the lead lap. 39 on the lead lap. 42 started tonight's race, and all 42 are still on track. Want to shout out those in the chat. Want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. Go ahead and click that share button. Click the like button as well if you like what you're seeing tonight. Subscribe to PGR eSports, because coming up in February, I'll talk about it later tonight, the PGR 500 has been scheduled. The dates are official, and the entry list is starting to fill up with some really great names, so we'll tell you about that later. That's coming up. Hit the subscribe button if you want to catch all the action coming up in the first week of February. Want to shout out those in the chat, though. Coming out here tonight, Baker's mom, of course. With Baker running P6, Baker's mom makes an appearance. Devin Ray, Jeffrey USBP, love to see everybody out here. Danelda Adams as well. Thomas Parker, Buster Malcolm, Chiefs 2738. Love to see everybody in the chat. Thank you all for watching. Hope you're all enjoying what you're seeing so far, but buckle up. We're just getting started. A long way to go. 67 to go, to be exact, from Talladega. Green flag back in the air. Matt Patton's going to get the field back under the green flag. And a good start on the bottom, but the better connection is up top. Patton's going to jump up there immediately. Flanagan is left out to dry. 4 trucks all jump to the top side in turn 1. Flanagan's going the wrong way. Got to imagine his teammate's going to go down to get him here in Trevor Osbornoff. Nope, going to hang up is the 89 of Osbornoff for now, as Flanagan goes backwards here off the end of the Alabama super stretch. Ellis jumps a lane higher than Patton, says, no sirree, I want that spot. John Ellis to the race lead down the back straightaway. On the push now from Trevor Osbornoff. It's Ellis, Osbornoff, Baker, Nagels, Ward. Your top 5 on the outside. Hastings got a pretty good start as well. Flanagan through the middle. He's going to bring Kevin Allen with him. Back there about 5 rows deep in the field. They're trying to get the middle lane working, but Patton will get the help from Wyatt Gray. Middle lane going to have another couple trucks coming to aid them, and all of a sudden it's going to be 3 wide. Flanagan down to the nose of Patton. David Flanagan, as aggressive as it gets early on in this one from Talladega. Lap 12 on the board, 66 to go. In this one, the Nightmare Before Christmas, Joe Huerta down to the bumper of his teammate about 5, 6, 7 rows deep in the field. That's where you'll see another couple Jack Shack trucks coming forward. They've got some help out back of them as well from Matt Patton and Wyatt Gray. They're going to come up to side draft here. Been an interesting decision down the Alabama Gang super stretch. We don't typically see guys come up to side draft. They're going to do it right here down the backstretch. Ward down to the nose of Huerta, and all of a sudden the bottom's got some life. Ward down, Baker down, Todd Merkel down out back, Osbornoff down tight side draft. Ellis staying up. He's got to come down and block that lane. Osbornoff's going to have to reset and push him off the end of turn 4. And that's going to stop up the run just a little bit. The bottom lane's going to roll here through the tri-oval, and Matthew Baker will take his first time out front. Familiar sight. Car number 5 to the race lead at Talladega as lap 13 goes on the board. Ward on the push there. Bottom line's now 9, 10, 11 trucks deep. Top lane was going for a moment. Nagels to the middle. He shoots the gap through the center. Hastings going with him. Huerta trying to get up to the middle as well to block it, as Nagels and Flanagan trade some paint down the back straightaway. Baker blocked for the lead for a moment. Huerta got to second. Ward relegated to the bottom. Almost 4 wide out back as Osbornoff trying to force the issue. They'll keep it 3 wide for now. Into turn 3. These guys not missing a beat. Baker down. Nagels tried to take it a lane lower. Baker goes all the way to the double yellow to block the Nightmare eSports number 6 of Cody Nagels. Ward going to go bottom to middle, trying to get to the top. He squeezes on the nose of Joe Huerta. He'll lead the top lane now. Huerta trying to split him out. He will. Ward in the middle now in the sucker hole. Bottom is loving what they're seeing right now as they benefit from it. Flanagan goes bottom to top. He goes to the safer barrier, and all of a sudden, 3 wide to the front. Patton trying to go through the middle. Nagels, Baker throwing the block up to the wall. They both go to the safer barrier. Pretty coordinated right there, but it's going to allow Matthew Patton to get the run on the bottom. On a push from Hunter Hastings. All of a sudden, Patton gets turned right in front of the field. They blink. Baker goes around. The big one strikes on the Alabama gang super stretch. Butler's in it. Patton's in it. Flanagan's in it. Merkel's in it. Baker is in it. A couple other trucks out back trying to miss it. Gordon Spain got a piece of it as well. As Matt Patton got turned right in front of the field and then blinked for a moment. And it all broke loose right at the front. We'll go back and take a look. Again, this was right around Matthew Baker. He had just jumped to the wall with Cody Nagels. Matt Patton was trying to get up to the wall. And I think as he goes to make this move, I think Hunter Hastings is actually going to turn him up the hill. Let's see if that's the case. Oh, he got him loose right there. One bad push, and then he's going to bumper hook him to his right. And around goes Patton. Now he's going to blink like right there before he gets to Baker, but it still registers contact. Nagels into the back of Baker. Flanagan goes sideways just a little bit. Merkel's going to get involved in this. And guys go to scramble. You see up ahead Nagels, Merkel, Patton, Hastings, Flanagan. Corbett, I believe, got a piece of that. Gabe Butler might have gotten a piece of that. Gordon Spain may have come out of this unscathed. I'm not exactly sure how. And you see Patton up ahead coming down. He's going to blink out again. I think this is a fatal one. He almost gets hit, or does he get hit? Oh my goodness, a monster hit there. Somebody's upside down. It's the 24. I want to say that's Stephen Miles. We'll check that to be sure. I want to say that's Stephen Miles' paint scheme, though. I'll have to go figure out exactly what truck that is. It is indeed Stephen Miles, so a tough break there. Let's get another look at this. Working down the back straightaway, Miles was back here around Malik Ray, and they got sideways, and watch this. Patton's going to come across your screen right in front of Stephen Miles. Nowhere to go, and my goodness, up in the air, almost upside down, then off the inside wall, comes all the way back up. As Patton comes to a stop, I'll tell you this, Miles may have gotten away from this. He's got damage. The wheels may be straight. It's going to be really interesting because he hit the wall pretty much flush on the front end. But Miles may have gotten away. The right front looks a little bit off center, but we'll have to wait and see. He hit the wall pretty well flush, so we'll see if he's able to continue in this one. We'll take one more look while everybody's on pit road. We'll take another look at what happened up front. Again, Patton was, I think, going to make the move up top and maybe hesitated for just a moment at the front of the field. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So when Baker and Nagels, we're going to actually back this way up. So when they go to the top, Patton is going to actually drop back down. They lose so much momentum that Patton's actually going to get clear, and I think he initially had thought about taking it and moving up, and instead he hesitated, gets turned by Hunter Hastings, who I would imagine is trying to reset, trying to get his own run, and man, what a hit it is from Miles. Into Patton. That actually knocks Patton's right front wheel off the suspension, so it's a fatal blow for Matt Patton's night. His night's over. Robert Richardson's night is over as well in the 49. As a result of this second caution on lap 16. So a couple early ones, man, I can't get over that hit for Stephen Miles, who was well behind the field. We'll keep an eye on him. He's on pit road right now. We'll go take a look. It did not look to me like the wheels were off center on that truck, so I think he should be able to continue and perhaps get back in this race later on in the going. Well, drivers have come to pit road a couple of times in this one so far. Joey Masowick's actually going to get a lap back here. That will put him still one lap down to the race leaders, I believe. The race leader is coming to complete lap 16, and Cody Nagels is going to make a trip to pit road here. So the race leader dips to pit road. He's got a little bit of front-end damage on that truck, perhaps coming to address that. And so the black and gold number 6 makes the trip to his pit crew. And will cede the race lead to John Ward. The captain for Dega Pros goes to the lead for the first time tonight. Logan Helton will go alongside him. That's row 1. Joe Huerta, Trevor Osborne on row number 2. Then it's Richard Elliott 5th. Andrew Paleschi in 6th. Ryan Kelly 7th. Jeff Merck 8th. Maxwell Caldwell is inside the top 10 for the first time in 9th. Austin Call, same thing in the 10th spot. So shake up in the players up front. A lot of guys on pit road there that were up front trying to deal with some damage. That includes, of course, Stephen Miles and Matthew Baker. They were both heavy hitters on pit road that time by others trying to fix damage from earlier in the night. We noted Daniel Falkingham struggles early in that first caution. It appears he has been able to fix that truck and return to the racing surface fully repaired. So no problems for Daniel Falkingham. No problems for a lot of the guys involved in the first caution. Not a lot of big hits there. Logan Helton was able to get his damage addressed, obviously, as well. We are racked and ready to go for another race start. It will be an even 60 laps to go. When we go back green, 40 of the 42 that started are still on track. At this point in time. I noted earlier, and I want to issue a correction real quick. I noted earlier, just from what I was seeing in some chat rooms, that J.R. Miller hadn't made the grid. He actually did make the race and came back from a lap down. Missed the start, got a caution, got back on the lead lap, and is now running in the 14th position. So, do want to point out, J.R. Miller, he's in that silver, black, red, and neon yellow 78 back on row 7, sporting the PGR 500 colors tonight. He did make the race, and he's inside the top 15. So apologies to JR. We're going to have to shout out his name eventually. He's working up towards the front of the field. And we're ready to go back under the green flag. John Ward is the control truck for this restart. Green flag in the air, and away we go. On lap 18, 60 laps to go in the nightmare before Christmas. John Ward, a 2-truck length gap on Huerta on the inside. Helton on the outside is actually going to fade down. Top 5 on the inside, all clear, make it 6. Paleschi jumps down. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for John Ward, who's going to get a nice little jump on this restart. Helton's going to choose to push. Do the Jack Shack trucks agree? No, they do not. Here come the Jack Shack teammates. Huerta on the outside, Osborne to the push. Old school tandem racing for now, for a moment, down the Alabama Gang super stretch. They work their way back down. The Jack Shack truck's thinking about it. Not much help out back in the middle. Jeff Merck coming to their aid, though, as Osborne tries to give his teammate a push here into 3. They're going to hang alongside Helton. The outside's going to start to get rolling as they work down through turns 3 and 4. Gordon Spain, J.R. Miller in that line. Malik Ray jumps down to the bottom. A bit of a stack up out back. Has kind of created a second pack. Hunter Hastings is to serve a penalty here for that cause of caution. As up front, they're going to go 3 wide. Huerta all the way to the wall. Osborne with him. Spain, Miller, Butler all go with them. Ward back down to the bottom. Merck is the odd man out. In the middle is truck number 60 as he works back to the 4th spot on the inside lane, just inside the top 10 is where he'll rest for now. Huerta to the race lead on the push from his teammate Trevor Osborne on the outside lane. Gordon Spain is there. Ward, Helton, and Richard Elliott are the top 3 on the inside lane. Out back, Flanagan's throwing blocks still back around the 15th position as he continues to work his way to the front of the field. Spain down to the middle. Here come the Jack Shack trucks to cover it, as Ward, Helton, and Elliott try to get something going on the inside here off turn 4. Big block, Spain on J.R. Miller. Are the Jack Shack trucks going to be able to cover this run? I'm not sure. They got to go back up to the wall. Still have a truck length advantage. They'll go to the wall here on the end of the tri-oval. It's going to give John Ward the lead. It'll send Logan Helton to second. And will Ward get enough to clear up on the bumper of Huerta? He will, but again, that move on entry reduces so much momentum that it's going to allow Logan Helton and Richard Elliott to come clear on the inside. Merck's going to get clear. Ellis may get it by the time they reach the middle point of the back straightaway, and all of a sudden the front is shuffled once again Helton to the race lead, a familiar spot. Former league champion of OP Racing, former Money Racing winner as well. Logan Helton's been everywhere. He's been there, done that, and won in all the biggest stages in the super speedway scene. Would love to add an HGR Nightmare Before Christmas to that resume. Off turn 4, down the exit of turn 4. Now back towards the start-finish line. It will be 57 to go when they come back around. On the outside, here comes another run. This time it's Merck. He was the man in the middle just a moment ago. Now the man leading the outside lane. He'll work to the wall, and he'll get the lead here on that lap around. He's led a couple of laps here in this race. Ward, top to bottom, he wants to lead. To the door of Jeff Merck comes John Ward. Will he be able to get clear? No. Big side draft there from Merck on the help of Joe Huerta. And they're going to be able to hold off that advance for now. Merck will maintain the lead. Huerta back to second with Osronath in behind him. Gabe Butler lurking back behind J.R. Miller out back. John Ellis trying to come forward. A couple other trucks trying to come forward as well. David Davis, Austin Call, a couple of those that are trying to make their way forward. Spain to the middle. He got to the center of the Jack Shack truck of Osronath. He's in the middle now, but nobody wants to go with him. And it's a bit of a mess here as Merck tries to decide where to cover. The Jack Shack trucks make him pay. Huerta to the outside. Ward to the lead. Helton's going to go to second. Ward's going to get up. Helton, I thought, may have had it for a moment. He did not, apparently. Stays on the double yellow line. 2 rows of 3 wide as Spain and Merck are now the men in the middle. And Helton, unfortunate for him, he just doesn't have much help. It's coming to him on the inside, though. Richard Elliott, he's got help from behind from David Davis. And the emerging Tucker McClendon in that bright orange and white Tennessee Volunteers Chevrolet Silverado. John Ellis, Daniel Everhart coming forward out back of those guys. A couple of others starting to come to the front as well. Cole Larson, Sean Corbett, Malik Ray starting to show their faces inside the top 20 for some of the first times tonight. But it continues to be all John Ward up front. Huerta, Osronath on his back bumper. J.R. Miller is up to 4th on the outside lane, but here comes the inside again. Helton trying to make a run at it. He's got help from behind from Elliott Davis, the truck side just mentioned. Talked about Cole Larson. He's in that line as well as Sean Corbett. Man in the middle, it's Ellis. He tried to go to the middle. He's going to have Everhart jump down there with him. Can they get anything going in that center lane? Nobody else willing to go. Now one is. How about Trevor Osronath? He's going to bring Joe Huerta down to cover it. They started to get a run. They're going to come right through the sucker hole and all the way towards the front. Everhart's going to get caught in the middle. Ellis going to stay in the middle. Huerta trying to split out around Ward. Ward says no, sir. Blocks him back to the safer barrier, and Ellis jumps in 4th in line. Everhart still has no help. Merck coming to him in the middle lane. Still not much there for him. He's trying to find a spot in line. He's going to jump in right there in front of Sean Corbett. About 6 trucks deep on the inside. Helton back to the lead. Big push on the bottom from Richard Elliott. He goes to the lead to the push of John Ward now. Elliott, David Davis on the inside. Big move out back. Ellis trying to get around Osronath. It didn't work. Remember, those two have some history. Back in August in the SummerSlam 499, John Ellis and Trevor Osronath were involved in an incident in the dual race that, or rather the LCQ race, that ended up in Ellis being eliminated. Those two are not too terribly fond of each other. And there was a big move right there by Ellis on Osronath trying to get around the 89. Osronath said no, sir, and now it's 4 rows of 3 by 3 at the front. Helton to the wall. He wants to lead the lanes. Up on the nose of Huerta. Ward in the middle with Everhart. J.R. Miller and one other truck in that center lane. It might be Gordon Spain. I believe it is. And out back, we're going to try 4 wide almost. Osronath peeked out from around his teammate just to side draft John Ward a little bit. Edge of your seat racing from start until now. It's 24 laps in. It feels like we've run 124 with the amount of racing that we've done already. Helton continues to lead the way over Huerta and Osronath. Ellis now 4th in the outside lane. Middle lane starting to disintegrate. It's Everhart with Miller and Spain, and now Corbett joins that center lane as well. They're going to drop to the bottom are Everhart and Miller. Spain, Corbett stuck in the middle. So now it's Everhart, Miller, Ward, then Elliott, then David Davis, and then Tucker McClendon and Cole Larson out back. A couple other trucks coming to the front for the first time tonight as a big move up front. Here come the Jack Shack trucks. Where to the outside of Helton. They got tired of maybe not side drafting as much as those trucks would like, and the Jack Shack wants to lead the way. They go back to the point. They're going to go right back down to the middle. Dominant move there by the Jack Shack. Tandem of teammates, flex some muscle there into turn number 3. They go right back to the 1-2 spots. Gabe Butler still in that outside lane with Jeff Merck in tow. The guys I was talking about coming forward. Kenny McCullough is one of them. Hunter Ezell is another one. So too Michael Barksdale and Corey Cheney. And then back in 20th, you'll find the resurging Cody Nagels. as he rides just on the outside looking into this lead draft hornet's nest. Up front, Oswald tried to block Helton all the way to the wall. Helton said no. Huerta's going to have to block it. Ellis down around Oswald. There's the move we've been waiting on. Ellis trying to throw it on the nose of the 89. They're throwing haymakers at each other on lap 26. Was that a little bit of payback, a little bit of get back for the August race? Ellis leads in the push of Oswald now, back into turn number 3. Huerta is the leader in the top lane. He leads the race over Helton, Butler, Merck. And now Kenny McCullough has come forward to 5th. Trouble out back. One truck was starting to get around. It was Sean Corbett. He made the save, a big save for Sean Corbett. As he'll go back to the back of the field. He lights the tires up, but makes the save. 26 up and down at the line, 51 to go. Huerta continues to lead on the push of Logan Helton. Merck, top to bottom. He wants the push of Ellis here into turn 1. Jeff Merck, red, white, and blue aboard that 60 machine. So familiar. As he will come off turn number 2. NBG colors aboard that 60 Chevy Silverado. And that's what John Ellis sees out his front windshield as they start to roll that line down the Alabama Gang super stretch. When they come back, it'll still be 50 laps to go from Talladega. Such a long way to go. So much great racing so far. Merck, bottom to top. He wants the lead on the nose of Huerta. Ellis is going to get alongside him for the lead on the push of Osranoth. Enemies turned allies, I would say, for the time being. For a couple swings back and forth to the middle. Here comes Logan Helton down to side draft Osranoth. He wants the center. Ward wants to go with him. Butler thought about it perhaps in that third spot on the outside lane. He will stay where he is for the time being. 3 wide for the lead once again. Ellis to the lead for the moment. Merck's going to try to side draft his way back to it off turn 2, but the 2-truck tandem in the middle is starting to work. David Davis, J.R. Miller, one other truck coming to the aid of those 3 in the middle. As Helton tries to get back to the lead, but it's Merck on Huerta's nose for now that continues to lead the way. And will we see Gabe Butler take a turn out of line? He hasn't really been clear to try to jump down out of line and make something happen. Out of that top lane for now. He'll stay where he is. Bad push there from Joe Huerta. Almost gets Jeff Merck out of shape. And now the field kind of falls apart just a little bit here off turn 4. It scrambles for a moment. And it's going to get Huerta all the way to the lead. Logan Helton pushing him. Huerta trying to play Pied Piper and figure out where he wants to go. Helton turns right on the nose of Gabe Butler. He wants to lead again as well. Couple savvy veterans in the outside, Helton and Butler in the middle. It's John Ward with David Davis, 3 by 3, 4 rows deep in the field as Gordon Spain jumps into the center. 3 wide for the lead still. Huerta with the advantage on the bottom for the time being, but the big move from Helton's going to pay off as he turned right around Joe Huerta to get back to the race lead down the back straightaway again. This is insanity. Butler turns left now. He wants the lead. Butler to the inside. He's got the push of Huerta. It's Kenny McCullough on the push of Logan Helton. Ezell is on the outside. He's got Corey Cheney with him, and one other truck, I believe that's Barksdale, has joined the fight in the outside lane. Logan Helton back to the lead with McCullough. Bottom side, Butler and Huerta. Middle, John Ward's going to stay there, come right through the center, and he'll be back in the conversation for the lead in turn 1. Butler gets it, goes all the way to the wall. That's going to allow Joe Huerta to pass right back by for the lead. Jeff Merck on his push. 3 wide behind him. 5 rows deep in the field. Ward, big move middle to top. He goes all the way to the wall. Huerta's going to slowly work his way up. Ward crosses over and goes back to the middle. The captain for Dega Pros with a big move there. Into turn 3. Here comes Merck on the bottom. Jeff Merck on the push of John Ellis Jr., and we've had about 5 different leaders in the span of 1 lap. Merck to the top. Ellis leads off turn 4. To the middle comes Trevor Osborne around John Ellis. Payback for the payback. Merck to the lead. Still 3 wide for the lead with 3 completely different drivers as a lap ago. At the line, give it to Oswornoth by maybe half a nose. On the apron goes Hunter Hastings. I don't blame him. He's going to go lap down. There's a train coming, and he's on the tracks. Bottom side is Ellis with Richard Elliott. Middle is Osborne with John Ward. Top side, Merck with Joe Huerta. Still 3 wide for 4 rows. Merck now surges forward all the way to the race lead. Goes the 60. Huerta will go with him. Butler is third in line. Helton is fourth. Huerta turns left to the bumper of his teammate. The Jack Shack strikes again. It's 1-2 on the bottom for JSR. On the outside now, they're going to control both lanes. Huerta went all the way. Merckx throws the crossover. Butler, tunnel vision just a little bit, gets in to John Ward. Osbornoff, that allows him to get clear. He's up to the middle. Ellis on the bottom. Osbornoff got to decide where to go. They get offset in the center lane, but Osbornoff keeps it going straight, and he leads at the line again. 46 laps to go, and I can't even catch my breath up here. Osbornoff middle to top. He wants to lead. Bottom side, here comes Ellis. He's got Elliott again. They've got Barksdale and Izell with them. Middle lane, Merck, Ward, David Davis, J.R. Miller, and Gordon Spain. But the top lane's where it's at. That's Osbornoff, Huerta, Butler, Helton, Kenny McCullough, and one other truck out back of all of them. It might be Corey Chaney. This is ridiculous racing for only 32 laps in. Osbornoff down to the middle, trying to bring Huerta with him. Not going to be able to. 3 wide now as the middle and top get separated. They're going to get offset. That allows the bottom to drive forward. Merck back to the lead, but not for long. Here comes Osbornoff in the center. Huerta and Butler, the only two in the outside as guys continue to bail. Logan Helton bails out. Kenny McCullough bails out. A couple of others out back bailed out. Larson, McClendon, Flanagan, Malik Ray, Wyatt Gray, Cody Nagel, Josh McCullough. A lot of guys have bailed out of this front pack, seeing what the racing is doing. Still 3 wide for about the first 8 to 10 cars, though. On the outside, Osbornoff gets back to the lead. He's got his teammate on his back bumper. That's Joe Huerta. They've got Butler and Spain with them. Middle now disintegrates. It's down to just David Davis and J.R. Miller. As guys start to single out, we may be approaching some pit stops. Coming up here in the very near future, 33 laps into this one, approaching the halfway point, just 5 laps from now. And finally, an opportunity not only for the drivers to catch their breath, but for me to catch one up here in the broadcast booth. It has been non-stop racing since we went back green. 2 wide up front for the first time in what seems like forever. A couple of rows of 3 wide with Davis and Helton. Helton's going to bail out of that and get in behind Michael Barksdale, or is he? He's thinking about going back to the top. We'll hang middle, leave David Davis a hole. And off turn 2, this is the calmest it's been in 20 laps. Osbornoff outside, Ward on the inside as both lines established now. Davis tries another run at the outside, but nobody willing to go with him. A lot of the field is singled out along the double yellow line. Trying to just ride out the middle portions of this race and get to potentially a green flag pit stop. As off turn 4, Ward to the lead now. Huerta's got to cool off the engine of that one machine. It's going to allow Ward to lead for the moment, but not for long. Osbornoff side drafts his way back to the point. He'll lead another lap. Several laps led early for truck number 89, black and red Chevy Silverado in the middle lane. That's Osbornoff. He may drop down right here, chooses to stay up with his teammate. Ward still on the bottom with Jeff Burke. John Ellis, Richard Elliott, Hunter Izell, Kenny McCullough. Only trucks on the outside now. Osbornoff, Huerta, Spain, Butler, Miller, Barksdale, and David Davis. We're going to go all the way to the wall here. Interesting decision, but it's going to get at least the top 2 clear into 3. It's really tight window for Huerta, and actually Osbornoff this time is going to opt to take that spot in line and lead the field here off turn 4 once again. Osbornoff back up. He wants his teammate back on his bumper. David Davis out back trying to make something happen in the outside lane by himself. Nobody wanted to go with him. Barksdale thought about it. They both jump back in line. Oh, excuse me. Barksdale jumps back in line. Got to think we're approaching a pit stop now. Looking back outside the top 10, everybody from basically Corey Chaney on back is single file along the inside of the racetrack. That includes names like David Flanagan, Malik Ray, Logan Helton, Tucker McClendon, Daniel Falkingham, Wyatt Gray, Cody Nagels, Matthew Baker, Daniel Eberhardt, Dylan Jones. Trucks that are a lap down: Hunter Hastings, Todd Merkel, Stephen Miles, Matthew Patton, Robert Richardson. Miles, Patton, and Richardson have called it a night. All 3 have taken their trucks behind the wall. So of the 43 that started, only 40 are still on track, 38 on the lead lap. 41 laps to go. It still continues to be Trevor Osbornoff leading the way for the Jack Shack on the push of his teammate Joe Huerta. John Ward on the inside with a push from Jeff Merck. Continues to be the working combination. Some trucks out back starting to make some noise. Falkingham was leading that line from what I could tell. Falkingham, Nagels, Josh McCullough, Daniel Eberhardt, Dylan Jones all trying to make something happen out back. Masowick's going to go another lap down in the 64. Rather, that's his first lap down. So 37 trucks on the lead lap now as Masowick goes a lap down. But the Falkingham-Nagels group is there, and they're going all the way to the safer barrier. They want a rim ride. McCullough thought about going with him. Actually, he's going to drop all the way down, so they're going to need probably one more truck to go. They're going to get it here in the form of David Davis, who thought about it. They're going to need somebody else to go with him. Somebody else is going to go with him. That's Daniel Eberhardt. Davis thinking about jumping out of line. 3 trucks in the outside trying to make it happen with 40 laps to go as we approach this green flag pit stop. They're trying to strategically get some track position. Cole Larson, Tucker McClendon, both trying to come forward. Saw Josh McCullough trying to come forward. Dylan Jones, Logan Helton. As Masowick's going to drop all the way off, he'll come to pit road. McClendon trying to get a spot in line. Josh McCullough says no. Up front, it continues to just be Osmond and Huerta. They're actually going to drop all the way down. This third lane's going to have a big run when they get there because they've now got 4 trucks lined up. Top 2 are going to drop down. Eberhardt, Jones, and Hastings. Now is that top lane. Remember, Hastings is 1 lap down. The first truck 1 lap down at this point in the race. Spain leads the outside. David Davis, Falkingham, Nagels behind them. Osmond and Huerta continue to run 1-2 along the bottom. Gabe Butler got down as well in the 88. Those are the top 3 on the bottom lane. Spain all the way to the outside of Huerta, going to go door-to-door with the 1. Osmernoth going to block. That's interesting. His teammate had gotten him to a good spot, but now he's going to block those 3 on the outside. Nagel's got himself a spot in line. 4 or 5 trucks deep on the inside lane. Osmernoth back down as Eberhardt works that third lane into gear. Here comes the 90. The black, orange, and yellow Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shops Ford F-150. To the outside, almost gets turned by Dylan Jones as Davis worked up the racetrack. Dylan Jones going to jump in line. David Davis got up the racetrack into Eberhardt. It was almost a big moment. Now it's Eberhardt up top, pushed by Malik Ray and Wyatt Gray coming to the front. Spain to the lead in the middle with a push of David Davis. Jack Shack trucks are going to get cleared here on the inside. Davis trying to move down. He's going to bring Spain with him. Jones leads the middle now with Falkingham. Eberhardt leads the outside with Malik Ray. And we're back to 3 wide, 3 rows deep. As soon as we got away from it, Davis is the pusher on the bottom. Really good work so far from David Davis. He's going to allow Eberhardt to get clear of that middle lane. Baker and one other are coming to pit road. Matthew Baker, Michael Barksdale coming to pit road out back. Eberhardt squeezes his way into that middle lane on the push of Dylan Jones. Davis and Spain get offset just a little bit in that bottom lane. Bottom is working really well. David Davis doing some great work keeping those 3 trucks out front. As we are now down to 37 laps to go. Past the halfway point, likely approaching the 1-stop range. We got to go a little bit longer, but we're approaching that number. As we get closer to this pit stop, we're getting closer to the point where we can only have 1 green flag pit stop in this race. It would make it the money stop. We'll see if that ends up being the case. And it's not going to be. Pit stops, here come a bunch. Spain, David Davis, Trevor Osmernoth, Joe Huerta. Osmernoth gets turned. Can he make the save on pit road? He can. We'll have to see if he was speeding there. John Ward, Gabe Butler, Jeff Merck, Richard Elliott, Corey Cheney, Kevin Allen will join that group on pit road and leave the lead in the hands of Daniel Eberhardt. Another truck just went a lap down. That was the 25 of William Scott Jr. as he will fall 1 lap down, only 35 on the lead lap. Now Todd Merkel came to pit road, has not re-exited pit road. He has multiple laps down in 40th position. 35 on the lead lap. Expect this group up here to answer. Michael Barksdale just ahead of the field. He's coming off pit road. Malik Ray down in front of Eberhardt. Eberhardt tried to get up around Ray. Wyatt Gray was in the way, and not much that Eberhardt can do there. Off turn 4. Here come a bunch more. Malik Ray coming to pit road. Daniel Eberhardt coming to pit road. Helton, McClendon, Nagels, they start to get together. Flanagan, Dylan Jones, J.R. Miller, John Ellis, Austin Call, Danny Barnes, Mark Vondell, Hunter Izell, Heath Job, Garrett Jenkins are the trucks on pit road this time by, and that's going to leave just 8 trucks that have not made a pit stop. Wyatt Gray, Daniel Falkingham, Kenny McCullough, Josh McCullough, Andrew Paleschi, Ryan Kelly, Maxwell Caldwell, and Cole Larson are the 8 that have not made a pit stop. Hunter Hastings, I imagine, will pit with them. He is a lap down. Got to imagine he'll pit with this group, so it'll be 9 that come to pit road, I believe, this time here on lap 43. Off turn 4, expect to see this group on pit road this time by. Here they come. All 9 trucks going to make their way to the pit lane. Other 2 groups got on relatively unscathed. Falkingham is quick at the line, but may have gotten it down to speed. And all 8 of these lead lap trucks, along with Hunter Hastings, make it to pit road unscathed. Helton, Eberhardt, Malik Ray, Dylan Jones going to lead the field off pit road. Then it is Osbornoth, David Davis, Huerta, Butler, Ward, and I believe Gordon Spain may have caught the back end of that group. Then the interesting one will be Cody Nagels. They are outside of draft range, but they do have more trucks. If they get in line, they should be able to run this group down. If this group starts to go too wide, which they will, Osbornoth not wanting to settle behind these 4 trucks, going to jump to the outside with Davis, Huerta, and Gabe Butler. Here comes that last group off pit road. They're going to be well in the rear view here of this lead group. By the time they get off pit road, Malik Ray, what in the world? The 1 drops off the racetrack to blend with the group with Kenny McCullough. I'm not even sure what just happened. Now we're scrambling 3 wide up here at the front as Eberhardt's going to inherit the lead, but that's going to help that group blend. Trouble! Osbornoth on the bumper of David Davis. A massive save for the driver of the 89. Osbornoth with the save of the night. Eberhardt side drafts. Osbornoth wanted to lead. He just thought a little bit later than Davis. To the middle comes Daniel Falkingham. Nobody going with him. Falkingham, the man in the middle of the Diet Deuce Chevrolet in the 88. He's to the outside of Osbornoth, but just nothing doing in the middle. Nobody wants to go with him. Malik Ray going to start to think about it further back in the group. So this first group goes all the way back to the Kenny McCullough Jr. machine. Then it is about a 1 second gap back to Ryan Kelly. And that Cody Nagels group is actually going to maintain the draft because of the bridge trucks that they got. So we're going to end up with much of our lead pack intact after 1 pit stop. Eberhardt, Huerta, Butler is your top 3. Helton comes forward to 4th, then it's John Ward, and then the inside tries to get it going again as Osbornoth is on the push to David Davis. Wyatt Gray, lap truck of Hunter Hastings, Josh McCullough's down there. Really good stuff in this one, and it got to a green flag pit stop, and massive props to a lot of guys for maintaining the lead draft. We actually did not thin the field too much out of that first pit stop. Now there will be another one coming, and it will be very late in the race, probably in the 60s. When we get that pit stop, that will be the money stop. It'll be who's got the strategy correct, who is able to execute entry and exit the best on that pit stop. They're spending very minimal time in their box. Eberhardt continues to lead mostly 2 wide. Now they're going to try 3. Ward through the middle. He's got Gordon Spain with him. That leaves Helton as the odd man out. Falkingham's actually going to go pick him up. He's going to take Dylan Jones to the outside with him. Spain's now going to be the man in the middle. Ward going to stay down there as well with Gordon Spain, as Helton's going to actually benefit out of that. Eberhardt continuing to lead on the push of Joe Huerta. Inside trying to get it going with Osbornoth, David Davis and company. On the bottom side, out back, the packs have now caught each other. It's back to one cohesive group here at the front. Buckle up, 31 laps to go. And in this lead draft, in terms of lead lap trucks, I want to say we have 27 back to Austin Call lead lap trucks in the lead draft after a pit stop. It's time to pull the belts tight. One more pit stop to go, but boy, oh boy, do we have a great one coming up for you from Talladega. Don't Don't step away now. We're just getting into when the temperature is going to slowly start to rise here at the front of the field. Eberhardt back to the top. Middle lane's got a lot more sustained pressure now behind John Ward. Ward, Spain lead it. Then it's Nagels behind them with J.R. Miller. A couple other trucks. Mark Vondell through the center for the first time tonight. The 59 trying to come to the front. Ryan Kelly is the truck with him. Eberhardt still continues to lead over Oswernoth for the time being. Butler gets to the outside of Ward. It's 3 wide, 6 rows deep in the field with 30 laps to go in the Nightmare Before Christmas. Eberhardt continuing to lead the way. Him and Huerta got way out in front here. They may have tandemed away from the field just a little bit. They'll have to come back to Gabe Butler's aid. It's going to stack that top lane up for just a moment, but now the top lane starts to take control again, and side draft continues to work. Nagels 4 wide. The 6 through a small gap back there. 4 wide comes the Nightmare entry of Nagels, and for the first time we're going to try 4 abreast. Nagels to the inside of Spain. He's going to go to the inside of Ward. He's trying to take J.R. Miller with him. They're bouncing off each other. That did not work for Cody Nagels exactly how he wanted it to. He's going to actually bail to the bottom as the field spreads way out here. A lot of guys, I think, did not like what they saw up front. Helton to the inside. Falkingham, Jones, Ellis with him. Butler is the man left out. Nobody going with him. Helton to the outside of Huerta. Crosses back over to the bottom. That's going to stick the Jack Shack cars, rather. Eberhardt and Huerta up on the wall. They'll have Butler trying to come to them. Ellis to the middle of the help of Helton. And in all that, it's the defending winner of the PGR 500 and a PGR champion in the past. It's Daniel Falkingham to the race lead for the first time. He'll lead this time by his 50 laps go on the board. 28 to go, back to 3 wide, 4 rows deep in this lead pack. A lot of guys have bailed out once again. Back around Cody Nagels is where the guys starting to bail out have started. You see guys like Malik Ray, David Flanagan. A couple of others have bailed completely. Mark Vondell, Kenny McCullough, Josh McCullough. Several big-name trucks have bailed completely out. Matthew Baker is off the pace, so is Michael Barksdale and Garrett Jenkins. They were off cycle on the pit stop. A lot of cars are laps down. Hastings, Scott, Masowicz, Corbett, Job, and Merkel are the ones that are still running. Tucker McClendon, Stephen Miles, Matt Patton, and Robert Richardson are out of tonight's race. 33 on the lead lap. All but 4 still running. Helton continues to lead. Ellis trying to go up and around him. May have just trying to guide him to the outside wall. The guys that were backed out, by the way, that's fixed really quickly as we're back to 3 wide most of the way back through the pack. Inside, it's Jeff Merck for MBG. He's got Trevor Oswernoth with him. Eberhardt trying to come through the middle. He's got Gabe Butler. In turn with them, Cody Nagels, Josh McCullough, and a couple of other trucks in line. Corey Cheney is one of them. Outside got a big run down the back straightaway. Back to the lead goes Helton. Helton, winner of multiple marquee events over the past couple of years. Won Jimmy Crow's Thanksgiving race back in November of 2023, the Gobble Gobble 500. Helton knows how to get it done here at Talladega in the trucks. Has done it more than once. Again, a league champion. And a winner across multiple circuits. No stranger to leading here at Talladega. Next time by 25 laps to go. And it continues to get more and more intense. You can see the moves getting bigger. You can see guys testing the waters. And we are 3 wide, 6 rows deep. Helton in the lead on the outside. Middle is Eberhardt, Butler, Nagels, and company. Bottom is Merck, Oswernoth, David Davis, Wyatt Gray, Ryan Kelly, Mark Vondell, and then Kenny McCullough, the captain for McCullough Motorsports. Spain, Ward, Jones, Cheney, all biding their time on the outside behind the front 3. Some of the best in league or money super speedway racing are dueling it out and throwing every move on the table that they can. Helton continues to lead. Lap 53 on the board. He's to the push of John Ellis. Then it's Daniel Falkingham. Merck went up to Daniel Eberhardt in the middle. Osmernoth continues to be on the push of David Davis on the bottom. They've got to separate up top. Here comes the middle. Eberhardt with wide open temps is going to shove Jeff Merck all the way to the point. Truck 60 back to the lead at Talladega. Eberhardt going to commit to the bottom with him for now. Butler's going to stay up in the middle. Into the push of a very familiar truck out back of him. 88 and 6. They've worked together a lot over the years. Gabe Butler and Cody Nagels nose to tail, leading the middle lane. Josh McCullough is there, so is J.R. Miller. Merck going to go all the way to the wall. Again, it's on entry, so that's going to allow Eberhardt to go to the lead. Will allow him to clear. It will. This is going to be tight off turn 4, but Eberhardt makes it work. Savvy move there from D3. Now it's D3 to the lead on Jeff Merck's push. In the middle, Butler and Nagels continue to try to make it work. Not much help coming to them right now, but it continues to work. The two-truck tandem is getting them towards the front of the field. Butler up to third. Eberhardt down to cover. Will he go all the way to the bottom? He will, for the time being, trying to let Jeff Merck cool off. See if he goes back to the wall here on the exit of turn 2. Osmernoth's got a big push on the inside, though. Make a decision. Daniel Eberhardt jumps all the way to the outside. Merck coming back on the safer barrier. That's where he'll go. Osmernoth's got the shove on the inside lane from David Davis, who's putting on a heck of a performance right now in truck 777. Eberhardt down to the bottom again. Going to let Jeff Merck cool off. Trying to save him some temperatures here. 24 laps to go. Eberhardt back bottom to top, now on the nose of Merck, and we're going to short pit. Osmernoth, Huerta, Gray, Flanagan, Malik Ray, short pit. That's not what I thought we were going to see. They're going to pit with 24 to go, make it 23. They're going to probably try to force the hand of the rest of the field and short pit it with 23 to go. Throw your strategy notebook out the window. We're pitting early at Talladega. Still 2x2, almost 3x3 here up front, by the way. We got to keep track of that as well. You got to imagine guys are going to try to scramble the pit road here to answer that. We'll see if the short pit works. It's been a long time since I've seen someone try the short pit. We'll see if anybody else does right here. With 23 to go, 54 complete, 23 to go. Does anybody else short pit it? 23 to go. Any takers here off turn 4 to short pit? Here come a lot of them. Eberhardt, Merck, Helton, Butler, Ellis, David Davis, Nagels, Jones, McCullough, Cheney, and I believe Hastings out back are all going to pit here with 23 to go. Open up the floodgates on the pit lane. Josh McCullough inherits the lead now. Does everybody else answer them? Daniel Falkingham's in this group. John Ward's in this group. J.R. Miller's in this group. Mark Von Dell, Ryan Kelly, Danny Barnes. Haven't said Danny Barnes' name a whole bunch tonight. He's up to second here by virtue of this cycle. Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew Paleschi, Austin Call, Richard Elliott, Gordon Spain. That's this last group that you'd imagine would all come to pit road. I mean, you have to answer if you're not going to run the right lap times here. Here they come off turn 4. Do we see the rest of the field on the pit lane here on lap number 55? Trouble! Josh McCullough gets turned by Danny Barnes. Can he get that thing woed down to pit speed? No way in the world. I believe Josh McCullough may have been speeding right there. He'll come to his box. We'll keep an eye on his truck. I don't see a world in where he wasn't speeding. And he wasn't. Josh McCullough gets away with it there on pit road. He was very quick getting to the entry line, but somehow gets it woed down. A couple trucks still on track, by the way. Cole Larson, Kevin Allen have caught a couple lap trucks, so we'll keep it there for just the slightest moment to wait until they come to pit road to complete this final pit cycle. And then it's gloves off. It's time to race for it. No more pit stops after this. It's going to be no holds barred. Everything's on the table trying to win $250 tonight at Talladega. The payouts, by the way, $250 to first, $175 to second, $150 to third, $100 to fourth, $75 to fifth, $50 to sixth, $31 to seventh, $25 to eighth, $22 to ninth, and $22 to 10th. Top 10 getting paid out tonight. The $250 to the winner of the Nightmare Before Christmas. Larson and Allen continue to lead the way. The short pit appears to have mostly worked for the guys that pit early. Now, the exception is Cody Nagels and his group. They are a little bit further back. But it looks like most everyone that came to pit road again has made it off with the group. J.R. Miller, Corey Cheney, Hunter Izell, have lost the draft, but we're going to end up with somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 trucks to decide this one from Talladega. We're waiting on these two to come to pit road as they will complete their pit service. They may run it out. We may go back. Let's go back and take a look at this group. Keep in mind that Larson and Kevin Allen still have to come to pit road here. We're going to take it back here because this is the race for provisional lead right now. Malik Ray's inherited the race lead provisionally, again, once those two come to pit road, but it's Malik Ray out front of this group. Wyatt Gray, Trevor Osmond, Gabe Butler, Daniel Eberhardt behind him. McCullough, Flanagan, Huerta, Nagels also here up towards the front. On the bottom side, I am nearly positive that's a lap truck on the bottom in front of John Ward. It is. I can't tell for the life of me who it is. It's Heath Jobe. 760 graphics aboard that Chevrolet. Bit of a different look. He'll go all the way to the front. Now, he is one lap down. This is actually going to put him on the tail end of the lead lap when he pokes out front of Malik Ray here. He's got Ward, Falkingham, Barksdale, Josh McCullough, John Ellis, Mark Vondell. In the middle goes Gabe Butler. Nagel's going to test the waters in the middle as well. They get a little bit of a draft tow here in turn 3. Eberhardt up to the outside of Osmanoff. Osmanoff's going to be stuck in the middle. Malik Ray and Wyatt Gray came down to side draft. Flanagan's going to get his teammate. They're going to have Butler, Nagels, Gordon Spain in the middle, and actually Wyatt Gray and Malik Ray are going to stay down. That's going to help that middle lane. Falkingham squeezes his way into line. Big hit there from Trevor Osmanoff. Now those two go back up to the wall, but the middle may have all the momentum here as they work forward. Jobe and Ward get disconnected on the bottom. Here comes Daniel Falkingham through the center. 4 wide out back. Huerta in the third lane going backwards. Butler, Nagel, Spain trying to get around him as the field navigates 4 wide. Nobody cutting Huerta a break. He's going backwards. Middle lane, that's where you'll find Falkingham, Osmanoff, and Flanagan triple tandem up down the Alabama gang super stretch. Tell you, this group back here is actually losing time. Larson and Allen may be able to hold on to that group when it comes down to it. Falkingham, Osmanoff, Flanagan down the bottom on the push of Heath Jobe now. Ray, Gray, Eberhardt, McCullough, Jones. Top 5 on the outside lane. Butler, Spain, Huerta still trying to work the middle. A couple other trucks back there as well. But for now, 2x2, about 5 rows deep at the front, back to about Gabe Butler. 16 laps to go at the line. 17 laps remaining. There's still a long way to go. 17 to go. Reminder now, because we may need this later. 3 green-white checkers available. Falkingham top, bottom to top. As Osmanoff now leads the bottom lane. Just keep in mind, we do have 3 green-white checkers available. Osmanoff up to the middle off the push of David Flanagan. Now goes to the push of Heath Jobe. 3 green-white checkers available. Big push bottom. Flanagan going to come all the way up to the middle. Barksdale almost tunnel vision there. Trying to get up in behind Flanagan. Flanagan back to the push. They just reset the pushing there and basically did a swap between the two teammates. Now it's Osmanoff pushing Flanagan. 16 to go at the line. Falkingham and Malik Ray 1-2. Where have we seen this before? It's almost as if we hit the rewind button. 4 months ago in August, these two ran 1-2 in the SummerSlam 499. It was Malik Ray getting the better of Falkingham that day. They know each other very well. Can they complete another classic today? They continue to lead the way. Flanagan trying to work his way forward. Now they're all the way on the bottom. Are those 2 Jack Shack trucks? They've got John Ward with them. They've got Barksdale with them. Eberhardt down to side draft. Not going to do a whole lot. They're all the way up to second. Trying to get door-to-door with Malik Ray. When they come back around, 14 laps to go. Larson and Allen still have not pit, and they continue to gain some time on this group that we assume is going to be leading the way. Flanagan now big push to the inside. The Jack Shack truck's trying to make a run at it. They're going to get Flanagan all the way to the front. Top lane separates as Wyatt Gray got split. Gray got split by a couple trucks. Trouble out back, one around. David Davis goes around on the back straightaway. It's just one. No caution. Everybody keeps it straight. Davis pounds the inside wall and comes to a stop. Flanagan goes to the race lead. Allen and Larson have come to pit road. Osmernoth trying to go to the lead, trying to get on the bumper of his teammate. Can't do it, but it will be David Flanagan leading the field off pit road. Barksdale's got to come serve a penalty. He'll come off the racetrack here off turn 4. Osmernoth now leads the middle on the push of Josh McCullough, pushed by his father, Kenny McCullough, in the center. Dylan Jones is there as well. 14 to go. Boy, what a win this would be for David Flanagan if he's able to get this one done. The Light Series champion from this past season, looking to get the job done at Talladega the Nightmare Before Christmas. His teammate flanks him as the other two have come and gone from pit road. This is now the battle for the lead. Into turn 3, still 2 wide most of the way back. Gabe Butler is the first time he'll find 3 wide. Big move to the center. How about the bonsai from Dylan Jones? Jones and Eberhardt, the dynamic duo, so many times before. They've done it again. That was a gutsy move to the middle by Dylan Jones. Osmernoth and McCullough go to the lead. They're going to go to the wall. Jones, Eberhardt, Kenny McCullough lead the bottom side now. Dylan Jones all the way to the bottom. Osmernoth tried to sidetrack. McCullough was pushing and Flanagan gets split. Who does Malik Ray go with here? He's going to go with Flanagan. Jones to the lead on the push of Osmernoth. Osmernoth trying to get outside to the wall. McCullough forced into the middle. Going to try to jump back in line in front of David Flanagan here. Big push, offset. McCullough's getting in the wall. Malik Ray has to dive to the left. Everybody saves it. D3 to the race lead. Oh, trouble! Jones gets turned, Osmernoth's around, and here we go. In turn 4, Josh McCullough's in it. Malik Ray's in it. Big hit, Heath Job. Wyatt Gray's involved. Several heavy-hitting trucks go spinning, and the caution flag is out late in the going. It started with Dylan Jones getting turned right up front. Trevor Osmernoth got hit from behind, and it was on from there. And we're going to get a late restart. Take another breath. You may not get another one here in this race. Let's go back and take a look at what happened. It kind of looked like they may have gotten a little offset between Osmernoth and Jones. I'm not sure if maybe Trevor wants to go to the middle here or if it's just an offset push. They're both coming down to side draft. Does Osmernoth try to split? Oh, Eberhardt's coming up. And as he comes up, Dylan Jones may have tried to lift. Dylan, I think, thought maybe they were going to the wall. Osmernoth didn't quite get the memo. He gets into Jones. Jones makes a heck of a save, but Osmernoth is unable to get saved before McCullough gets into him. Josh McCullough gets a piece. David Flanagan may have tapped the wall. Up ahead of them, Malik Ray gets a piece off Josh McCullough. Wyatt Gray's going to get a piece of this. Jeff Merck's going to get a piece of this. Heath Job is involved. See right there, Wyatt Gray. There's his piece right there in the 18. Trevor Osmernoth looks like he just slid and got back going, so he may be okay. But Wyatt Gray took a couple hits. So did Malik Ray. So did Heath Job. So did Jeff Merck. So did Josh McCullough. Few heavy-hitting trucks involved in this one, and you'll see what I mean here going into turn number 3. I think Dylan Jones may have had the idea that Daniel Eberhardt wanted to drag them to the wall when he made this move, and Jones is going to move up to try to compensate. You'll see it right here, and Eberhardt stops in the middle, and Jones tries to lift to jump back in line. Osmernoth has to lift to jump back in line, and it accordions backwards. McCullough gets into Osmernoth, and it is on from there. Flanagan, again, just barely taps the wall. Gabe Butler and Nagel somehow get through this on the inside. You see them poking through. Look at Mark Vondell on the inside as well in the 59 as he manages to get through this. Several other trucks getting through this one as well. So that one could have been a lot worse than it ended up being. We'll take one more look at it before we go back under the green flag. Again, kind of just showing you what I mean by when they get offset. Watch Eberhardt make this move to the top. Eberhardt goes to the lead, and I think what you're going to see Dylan Jones just instinctively go towards the wall. He thinks Eberhardt's taking the field up towards the wall. Or perhaps is Jones lifting there, trying to anticipate Eberhardt coming up, and guys were on his bumper behind him, and it just stacks everybody up. And Osmernoth ends up getting turned around. You see McCullough, Malik Ray. You see their involvement in it right there. Look at Butler slide through. Look at Vondell on the inside. Truck 59 from McCullough Motorsports. Look at that truck come through it on the inside as well. Logan Helton somehow gets through this. Same for John Ellis. In all reality, it could have been a lot bigger than it was, and we got away with just a few trucks being involved and no real severe damage. Heat Job may have some pretty major damage on his truck. So multi-truck incident here late in the going, just outside of 10 laps to go, has put us under the caution flag for the third time tonight. And we'll set up now a late restart in this race from Talladega. So we'll re-rack it. It'll be 9 laps to go when we go back under the green flag. And we'll re-rack the field for you accordingly. Kenny McCullough leads the field. The 0-3 is out front for one of the first times tonight. Daniel Eberhardt will go from the second spot. Then it's Daniel Falkingham third. Dylan Jones in the fourth spot. John Ward in fifth. Trevor Osbornoth somehow is in sixth. David Flanagan is seventh. Gabe Butler is eighth. Jeff Merck is ninth. Logan Helton is 10th. 32 trucks on the lead lap. Back to Cody Nagels. Sean Corbett, Joey Masowicz, Matthew Baker, Todd Merkel, Heath Job, David Davis all going laps down under this caution. Davis's night is over in 38th. So too is Job's. It appears in 37th. So 36 still running. 32 on the lead lap again back to Cody Nagels. So 9 laps to go. We go back green. I'll remind everyone again, if you did not catch it earlier, 3 green-white checkered attempts are available should they be required at the end of tonight's scheduled race distance. As of now, we're going the final 9 to the checkers tonight here in virtual Lincoln, Alabama. Kenny McCullough chooses the top lane for the restart. He'll have Dylan Jones and Trevor Osbornoth as his assistants here. Inside will be Daniel Eberhardt, Daniel Falkingham, and John Ward. The damaged trucks in that caution. Malik Ray will line up 27th. Wyatt Gray 31st. Josh McCullough 23rd. Of course, Trevor Osbornoth up here at the front, so too is Dylan Jones. Make your picks now for who you think is going to win this race. Come on, winner of the Nightmare Before Christmas. Still 32 trucks on the lead lap. Most all of them are pretty well clean as well, so a lot of possibilities still for who could go to victory lane, survive this late race chaos, and crown themselves a winner. Tonight in HGR, it's Kenny McCullough, veteran of the super speedway scene, that will lead the field back to the restart zone. 9 laps to go in the Nightmare Before Christmas. Green flag is in the air. We're back underway. Good start both ways here. McCullough got a good push there from Dylan Jones. They're going to be connected here into one. Bottom side is 1, 2, 3 tandemed up. D3 to the race lead. Daniel Eberhardt goes to the point here in turn 1. He'll bring Falkingham and John Ward with him. They may all 3 get clear by the time they work off turn 2. Ward the first to the punch. Ward to the outside. Falkingham going to stay to the bumper of Daniel Eberhardt. Flanagan through on the inside. He's got Logan Helton with him. Maxwell Caldwell, the Hendrick Cars Chevrolet, to the front for the first time tonight. Ward's going to get split. McCullough to the outside with Dylan Jones. Osbornoth goes to the help of Ward. Only 2 trucks up against the safer barrier. Helton, Flanagan looking for a way around right now. Top 4, make it 5, are clear on the inside lane. When they come back, it will be 8 laps to go. Here's Helton. Here's the move to the outside of Flanagan. Caldwell going to go with him. Falkingham tries to get around Eberhardt. It doesn't work, but he's able to go back to second. Flanagan all by his lonesome on the inside. Out back, Ryan Kelly's gone up into the top 6 of this race. He's going to go to the middle. How about the bright orange truck? Ryan Kelly to the front for one of the first times tonight. He'll take a left on some of these guys. trying to come up here and duke it out. Nobody going with him in the middle, but here comes the big push. Flanagan, does he stay with him? No, he's going to dip to the inside. He'll go to the push of Gordon Spain on the bottom. Telling you, that's got to be one of the trucks to watch here is David Flanagan. He has been all over the place tonight throwing big blocks. How about Caldwell in the middle with McCullough now? They lead the middle lane. Helton tried to get down there, couldn't do it. Caldwell going to go all the way to the bottom. How about that from the HendrickCars.com blue and black Chevy, the 94. Eberhardt, bottom back to the top 4 wide. Gabe Butler is in the third lane going backwards. No help to be found for him as he goes the wrong way. Still 4 wide, got to navigate that. Ellis trying to maybe force another fourth line trouble. Ellis gets turned by Gabe Butler. Around goes the 21. What a save by John Ellis, but the caution had already come out. And Malik Ray gets hit by Josh McCullough under caution. The caution had already been triggered by the time John Ellis brought that truck back straight, so we'll go into the caution flag. No green-white checkered here. We'll go into a natural overtime or perhaps a 3 laps to go restart. But it started back around John Ellis. He was able to somehow save the truck. Oh, man, Josh McCullough's got big damage here. As his truck is going into the outside wall. He's got no steering, it doesn't appear, aboard that 46. It was a bout of netcode, it appeared to me. Up in turn number 2, you'll see it right there. It's about 5 feet of netcode. Ellis gets turned sideways. There's the damage on McCullough's truck. What a save by John Ellis Jr. Goodness. I said Trevor Osmernoth had the save of the night. That's probably now the save of the night. John Ellis keeping that truck straight. Not a lot to look at here. We'll go back and take another, maybe couple looks at it just to see if we can see anything else, but not a whole lot to see since Ellis was able to keep the truck straight. Go to an onboard camera of it as well. See the netcode right there. It's going to turn Ellis sideways. Watch this. Butler helps him, kind of drives him back straight, but Ellis still has to make the save and not correct that truck back into the outside wall, and that's exactly what he does. Really, really good stuff there from John Ellis to not crash and take other trucks with him. Take one more look, and then we will go to the onboard camera for John Ellis. I know a lot of you will want to see that. I want to see it myself. See the little bit of netcode right there. It's actually a pretty strong bout of netcode as those two got together. And then watch up ahead. Josh McCullough with no suspension or no steering drives straight down in the right side door. Malik Ray. Then we're going to have to see how bad the damage is on board the 1. But McCullough with no real ability to steer his truck gets into Malik Ray and gets him a little bit of damage. So we'll have to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on the 1 truck here. Looking forward to this restart. Let's go on board. You're on board with John Ellis Jr. This is the man of the hour, the save of the night for Truck 21. Boy, oh boy. How about that for John Ellis? He dropped some positions. He's back to 19th, but much better than being crashed and out of the race. You'll 100% take that if you're John Ellis Jr. Well, we'll get set to go green. It'll be 3 laps to go when we go. Maxwell Caldwell, Daniel Eberhardt will be the front row. How about Caldwell leading with what's going to be 3 laps to go? An opportunity for a big win for that driver. Kenny McCullough 3rd, David Flanagan in 4th. Daniel Falkingham is 5th, Ryan Kelly 6th, Logan Helton is up to 7th, Gordon Spain is 8th, John Ward is 9th, Dylan Jones is in the 10th spot. Tell you what, Got a little bit of time before we go under the green flag, so let's get a word from one of the drivers in the field. Let's get the word from the driver running in the third spot right now, the captain from McCullough Motorsports, Kenny McCullough. He's been up front a lot tonight. Let's see what he's got to say before we go back green with 3 laps to go. Kenny, it's Dawson in the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you, buddy.
Well, look, this one's been a wild one from start to finish. You've been up front for a lot of this second half. 3 laps to go. You're starting the inside of row number 2. What's the game plan here to try to get to victory lane in the Nightmare Before Christmas?
I don't know, man. I prefer to be the pusher because you know that it is on the last lap. You will get hung. So I prefer to have somebody in front of me and just let it be that. Hopefully I got some help behind me.
We'll talk about the racing here real quick before we go back green. This has been pretty crazy. I'm not sure I expected it. I'm not sure a lot of you guys expected the racing to be quite this wild tonight. What's it been like on track to be 3 and 4 wide at times for most of this race?
Yeah, I like this new package. It definitely creates the high line strong, but you can do something in the middle and you can do something on the bottom. So the racing's been a blast. I've had a good time.
We've had a good time watching. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for talking to us, and we'll see if we're seeing you at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.
Kenny McCullough, the captain for McCullough Motorsports, going from third on this restart. You heard him say he'd rather be the pusher. I'm in a similar boat as a driver. I want to be second. I want to be controlling the push so that I can make my own gap, that I can make my own window to make a move. I always want to be in that offensive position where Kenny McCullough may very well find himself coming to the checkered flag in just a few laps' time. Again, it's 3 more laps. I'll remind everyone one more time, there are 3 green-white checkered attempts available should we need them. Why is that extra important? Not only because it could impact the finish of the race, obviously. Why is it extra important, though? Remember the trucks that short pit with 24 to go. How close did you cut it when you came to pit road in terms of how much extra fuel's in the truck? How much extra do you have on board to go into some green-white checkered finish attempts late in the going here? Do you have enough to make it to those, or you're going to have to save a little bit under these cautions to try to make it? Is fuel mileage going to become a factor? We'll have to wait and see, but keep that in mind should we need a green-white checkered. For now, it is an organic 3 laps to go restart. Should note, starting at the tail end of the field, back on the lead lap. Now, he might need another caution or 2 to help him get back to the front, but Matthew Baker is 32nd, trying to get into a money position after the damage he sustained earlier in the night. He'll start the tail on the longest line. 3 laps to go in the Nightmare Before Christmas. Will it finish in regulation, or will we need a few more miles? Maxwell Caldwell looking to complete an all-time upset. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway. Good restart both ways. Caldwell tried to get off and running, but it's Eberhardt who got to the gas first. Daniel Eberhardt in the race lead. Out back, Dylan Jones trying to split. Osbernauts with him. Cole Larson got split out 3 wide by J.R. Miller. Daniel Eberhardt in the race lead, Flanagan second. Another move to the outside. This time it's Dylan Jones again. He'll go to the outside of Gordon Spain. The all-white Chevy. Wow, how did Daniel Falkingham put his truck right there? The Diet Mountain 2 Chevrolet put his truck in an improbable gap. Ryan Kelly goes to the middle. He's going to have Gordon Spain coming to his aid. No run right now. They're going to drop a few rows back. Top side, Eberhardt, Flanagan, Falkingham, Jones, and then Osbernath. Bottom side, Caldwell, Kenny McCullough, Logan Helton, Joe Huerta. Coming back, it'll be Popsicle Sticks out the flag stand. They'll see 2 laps to go when they get back around. If we make it to the white flag, this race will be official. Daniel Eberhardt leads them back to the tri-oval. They'll see the 2 and the Popsicle Sticks out the flag stand. 2 laps to go at Talladega. Big block. Flanagan tried it. Falkingham got to his right rear. Flanagan going to have to bail. He's going to have to retreat down to the inside. He'll go door to door with Eberhardt for the lead as Falkingham goes to the push. Dylan Jones trying to lean to the outside quarter panel. Merck actually is going to get there first. Jones throws the block all the way to the wall. Jones gets a little bit loose. Falkingham and Eberhardt both back up. Flanagan to the race lead on the bottom. A monster shove to the 31. Here comes the Jack Shack entry. Flanagan in the lead. Trouble out back. They crash. John Ward and several others are around. Into overtime. Huge crash. Gabe Butler in the catch fencing. The big one, Nagels, Vondell, Ward, Merkel, Corbett, Masowicz, Ellis, several others involved. $77 not going to be enough to complete this one. We'll need a few more. And the biggest wreck of the night in turn 4. It actually gets started at the end of the back straightaway. And it ends with Gabe Butler being able to drive away. I think that's the craziest part. Is that Butler was able to drive away. I'm trying to figure out what truck that was that got around first. I think it might have been Garrett Jenkins. It is going to be Garrett Jenkins. It's a stack up on the outside. And it's Hastings that turns him around, and several trucks go to the inside. Cheney, Ellis, Ward, Butler, Nagels, Corbett, Masowicz. This is a big incident. Vondell is in it as well. Try to go back and take another look at this. We'll go from where Gabe Butler is. He's a little bit further back of this. He was actually in a 4-wide situation. See if we can figure out where he gets involved. You're going to see the crash start in front of him. There's Jenkins. They get into Ward. Ward almost goes up and over. And he's going to spin back up. And as he spins back up, nowhere to go for Gabe Butler, who's going to go up and over, vault over top of Cody Nagels, climb the safer barrier. And that truck goes into the protective catch fencing over there in turns 3 and 4. There's another truck involved in this too. It's the other 00 on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure what truck that is either. What a wild ride for Butler. As he gets sideways, there's one other truck. It's the other 00. I'm not particularly sure. Might be Austin Call, and it is. So Austin Call is in it also. There's Masowicz and Merkel getting involved. Try to take another look at this one. As they work down the Alabama Gang super stretch, you see the trucks go off to the inside. Ellis, Cheney, and wild ride for Gabe Butler. Saw some calls saying Matthew Baker was in it. We'll go back and take a look at that as well. This is a wild ride for Gabe Butler. Watch for the 5 to come along in this. He's right there in behind Cody Nagels, and yeah, he does get tagged by Michael Barksdale. So Baker's involved in another one after all that damage repair. Baker is in another incident. Now he stayed out on the racetrack. I can tell you did not come to the aid of his pit crew under the caution flag, so he'll stay out and inherit 20th position. We'll go on board. Here it is. Gabe Butler, the wildest ride of the night. Inside of 5 to go. That truck sets back down on the wheels somehow, some way, as he's able to continue on. So we'll re-rack and restack. We're going to try this thing again. Again, 3 green-white checkers available. This will be the first. We'll start to re-rack the field when they come back around. If we make it to the white flag, the race is over. No more cautions. We'll race it out. Of course, any last lap discipline that's needed will be reviewed. So if something does come up, obviously we hope it does not, but if something does come up on the last lap that needs to be reviewed, we'll try to hang around, get you a firm answer on what exactly is going to be going on in terms of post-race discipline, should there need to be any. Well, let's re-rack and restack, shall we? Let's try this thing again. Green-white checkered attempt number 1 at the Talladega Superspeedway. It will be David Flanagan that will lead the field back to the green flag. He's going to select the outside lane. That will mean to his left elbow will be Maxwell Caldwell. In the second spot, Caldwell tried to pull what at least I believe to be an all-time upset. In terms of the field that is racked up behind him, he'll restart in the second spot. Row 2, Daniel Eberhardt led a lot of that run towards the end. He'll go from 3rd. It'll be Kenny McCullough in the 4th spot. Daniel Falkingham going to try to add another race to his resume. A long one at this point. He'll go from 5th. Dylan Jones in the 6th spot. Logan Helton from 7th. Jeff Merck in the 8th spot. Joe Huerta 9th. And J.R. Miller is 10th. Andrew Paleschi has kind of gotten himself into the picture here. Cole Larson, if you'll remember, he and Kevin Allen both pit off cycle earlier. They're both back in the mix. Larson is 12th. Allen, I want to say, is somewhere around 17th. Malik Ray has gotten back in this thing. Matthew Baker has gotten back in this thing. Wyatt Gray, same thing. John Ellis, we just saw his a moment ago. So a lot of guys still in contention in terms of cars in or out. Garrett Jenkins has called it a night. He'll finish tonight around the 32nd spot. Cody Nagels has called it a night in 34th. So has Todd Merkel in 33rd. John Ward has called it a night in 35th. Josh McCullough has called it a night in 36th. Heath Job in 37th. 31 still on track. 29 on the lead lap back to Gabe Butler, who somehow stayed on the lead lap after flying into the catch fencing. Joey Maswick, Sean Corbett, the only two one lap down. Should we get another caution, they would get back on the lead lap. See Gabe Butler back there. That truck doesn't look too worse for wear, considering it was on the top of the safer barrier a moment ago, but see if we can make anything of it. If we make it back to the white flag, someone's coming home a winner in the nightmare before Christmas. We might just settle it right here. Green-white checkered attempt number 1. David Flanagan, Maxwell Caldwell, green flag in the air, and away we go. Popsicle sticks again out the flag stand. 2 to go from Barney the Flagman. Flanagan out front. And you know, with the way he's been racing tonight, it's about to get pretty wild here at the front of the field. What kind of blocks does David Flanagan want to throw to win this one from Talladega? Caldwell to the inside, the push of Eberhardt. McCullough trying to split. They go to the wall. Flanagan throws the block. Easy peasy there. Caldwell to the race lead only for a moment. Outside trying to get rolling, but they are really pushing on that inside lane. To the middle, J.R. Miller, the first to move. Nobody going to go with him. Back to Cole Larson. McCullough, Flanagan down to side draft. Come the leaders, right to the door. To the lead goes Maxwell Caldwell, but not for long. The side track takes effect, and Flanagan will go back to the point. Off at turn 4. They are just about 1,000 feet away from the white flag. 4 wide out back. Can they make it work? That's around Paleschi and Miller. They're going to make it work for now. White flag is up. 1 lap to go in the nightmare before Christmas. Osborne out there, 4 wide back around J.R. Miller. Matthew Baker, I thought, poked his nose out front. They're going to try to crash. They're going to crash. Paleschi, Baker, Paleschi up and over. Big crash in turn 1. Couple cars flying through the air. We'll keep it up front. Onto the Alabama Gang super stretch for the final time. Caldwell on the inside. Flanagan on the outside. Eberhardt pushing for all he's worth. They're going to make their way back to the checkered flag. 10 spots pay. Basically, all these guys are going to make money. Who's going to come home a winner? Through turn 3, Flanagan, Caldwell continue to drag race. When does Kenny McCullough make a move? Does Dylan Jones try to win this thing for himself? Who makes the first bonsai move off turn 4? Back to the checkered flag. It's a drag race. Eberhardt blows up. McCullough looks inside. McCullough down to the bottom. Drag race. Can they block him? They cannot pass him. David Flanagan wins the nightmare before Christmas. A defensive masterclass for the driver from the Jack Shack. A couple of well-executed blocks. And the Light Series champ puts his name in the record books in HGR. He's the winner of the Nightmare Before Christmas. Sure to be a heck of a celebration here for those guys. They will all 3 come down to celebrate on the front straightaway. So David Flanagan wins tonight at Talladega in the Nightmare Before Christmas, as he's able to capture a victory at Talladega in a wild one tonight here on PGR eSports. I almost have no voice left after that race, but Flanagan's able to get the win. We're going to go through your results. We're trying to wait on the top three to filter in to the broadcast booth waiting room and get an idea of what they saw on that last lap. We'll go through your finishing results first. David Flanagan wins tonight's Nightmare Before Christmas. You could tell early on that he was going to be very aggressive tonight. It pans out in his favor. He's able to go to victory lane in front of Kenny McCullough in the second spot. Dylan Jones goes third. Joe Huerta goes fourth. A 1, 4, and 10 for the Jack Shack tonight. Huerta fourth. Jeff Merck fifth. Maxwell Caldwell, I know, hindsight's going to tell you want to win the race, but man, what a showing it was for truck number 94. He'll go sixth tonight. Daniel Falkingham, 7th. Logan Helton, 8th. Ryan Kelly, great run for him as well in the 9th position in truck 103. Trevor Osmanoff finishes up the top 10. Gordon Spain goes 11th tonight with Kevin Allen in 12th. Austin Call, 13th. Danny Barnes, 14th. Daniel Eberhardt in 15th. He blew up on the last lap. Mark Vondell, 16th. John Ellis, 17th. Gabe Butler back in the 18th position. Hunter Azell in 19th. And Hunter Hastings in 20th. Richard Elliott, 21st. Corey Cheney finishes 22nd tonight. Cole Larson, 23rd. Matthew Baker in 24th. J.R. Miller, 25th. Michael Barksdale, 26th. Andrew Pellichy, 27th. Wyatt Gray, 28th. Malik Ray, 29th. Sean Corbett in 30th position. Joey Masowicz in 31st. Todd Merkel, 32nd. Garrett Jenkins in 33rd. Cody Nagels in 34th. John Ward in 35th. Josh McCullough, 36th. Heath Jove finishes 37th. David Davis, 38th tonight. William Scott Jr., 39th. Tucker McClendon, 40th. Stephen Miles back in 41st. Matthew Patton, 42nd. Robert Richardson in the 43rd and final finishing position. Tell you what, we still don't have any of our top three in the waiting room as of right now, so we'll continue to wait on them. Do want to get interviews from your top three finishers tonight. Again, Flanagan, McCullough, and Dylan Jones. In the meantime, we will start to tell you about what's upcoming for PGR eSports on the circuit. No race this week for the Thursday series. Of course, it is Christmas this week, so feel free. Obviously, everybody can enjoy the holiday with family and loved ones, and all the drivers are going to take the day off. All of us are going to take the day with our families. I'm not sure yet about Friday night's Dega Pro Stars and Stripes series yet. We'll wait and see if that one is up and running on Friday night. So we'll keep an eye out for that race. Some other things coming up over the course of the next week or so. Of course, next Monday is the next recruitment race for the PGR 500. If you're watching and you want to get involved in PGR eSports, February 2nd through the 8th is the second annual running of the Great American Sim Race, the PGR 500, as we will crown another PGR 500 champ come February the 8th. So get involved. Come out to that recruitment race. You could win a free entry to that race. In the meantime, while we wait for guys to get in the waiting room, and we might have all of them now, so we'll get into post-race interviews. Then I'll tell you about the PGR 500 after that. But let's get in to your top three and start talking to the guys who finished on the podium tonight in the HTR Nightmare Before Christmas. We'll start with the driver who finished in the third spot. A great run, a strong one tonight for Dylan Jones. Did not come out with the win, but certainly a good showing for the driver of the 011 tonight here at Talladega. We'll talk to him. It's Dylan Jones, your third place finisher. Dylan, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Sure do.
Well, tonight was a wild one from start to finish. It had a little bit of everything. Big moments, big saves, some crashes, some pit strategy, and a wild finish at the end. You know, coming down to it, obviously a few opportunities there to maybe make a move. Anything in hindsight that you would have done differently to put yourself in victory lane tonight?
Not really, because without anyone behind you in these trucks, you just have no momentum. And really at the end there, the bottom had everything. And everyone up top was just sitting there trying to side draft and kill the bottom. So no one really wanted to make many moves, and I couldn't do nothing without someone behind me. So it's kind of just sit there and hope we'd get momentum. And then I guess Daniel blew up on the bottom. So that gave us the best shot, but still didn't have nothing.
Look, the racing in the truck is obviously pretty crazy. I'm not sure I quite expected how wild it would get tonight. Kind of take me through the driver's perspective of it. What'd you see in the cockpit? How fun was it, I guess, racing this new style of truck racing that we're starting to get used to?
It's a love-hate relationship. It can be really fun at some times and really frustrating at others because if you don't have the opportunity to pinch the bottom line, they start rolling. But if you got to sit there and defend your right rear because if somebody takes your right rear, you're going backwards. So you got to play the middle of defending the wall and side drafting, and it gets pretty interesting.
Well, third place for you tonight in the Nightmare Before Christmas. Still a pretty good payday for you. So before we let you go and catch your breath maybe a little bit after some of the chaos tonight, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
I'll give a big shout out to you, Dawson, for broadcasting tonight, and Jimmy and James Waring, I'm sure, was working his butt off, and the guys at PGR for all the broadcasting work you guys did behind the scene.
Appreciate you for talking to me here for a second. Congrats on the third place finish tonight. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We'll talk to you next time.
Yes, sir.
Dylan Jones, third place finisher tonight from the Talladega Superspeedway. We'll move now to the second place finisher. You actually just heard from him here just a few moments ago. It's the driver of the 03. It's the captain from McCullough Motorsports. Kenny McCullough comes home runner-up tonight in the Nightmare Before Christmas. He's our P2 finisher from Talladega. Kenny, it's Dawson in the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, boy, we just talked to you a moment ago, and turns out you were back to talk to us here at the end of this thing. You're coming off turn 4. You had the spot you wanted. You were the pusher. You made a move. Anything you could have done differently there to make it one spot better and win tonight's race?
I don't think so. I really didn't have a chance there to like back off of him a little bit and get hooked up with Dylan there. I'm pretty sure Dylan would have went with me if I'd have made a move on him, but with the car blowing up on the bottom, we just got clear, just enough for me to try to do a little something. But I'm happy to finish second. The race was awesome up front. It was intense for sure. Like I said, I don't mind pushing Flanagan. I felt like I couldn't sit there. I had to try a little something, but I didn't want to jeopardize myself, Flanagan, or Dylan there. So P2, I'll take it any day.
Really, to me, one of the first major stress tests for this new truck package. We've seen some racing in it, but we really haven't seen a field like tonight go at it for a long race with pit stops and be able to test the third lane and really work out what can and can't work in this truck. Again, just kind of take us through what you saw from the cockpit. Do you think this is going to be the norm going forward for this truck package? Do you think the drivers maybe figured something out tonight in terms of what you can and can't do and what lanes do and don't work?
I've noticed that the bigger fields are definitely the better racing. The more trucks you got, you get 20. The lines don't work as much. The middle and the bottom. When you got this big of a field, it looks like to me that the middle lane strong, bottom strong. High line is preferred, but you can do a little something in all three of them. So that makes the difference. It's not like the Gen 6. Everybody gets on the top and can't do a whole lot, but these cars, you can make some moves. That's what's fun about them.
Well, second place finish for you tonight at Talladega, the Nightmare Before Christmas. So before we let you go, do want to give you an opportunity. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, thank Jimmy for putting this thing on. I know he don't like all the cautions, but when we wasn't under caution, the racing was intense up front. I know it had to be fun to watch on the broadcast. Like to thank my teammates and all. I had quite a few of them out there tonight. They didn't fare so well, but appreciate them showing up, and supporting. And appreciate y'all for doing the broadcast, man.
I appreciate you for talking to me for a second. Congrats on the second place effort tonight. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We will talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas to everyone and their families.
Indeed. Merry Christmas to Kenny McCullough and the McCullough boys as well. We'll move now to the man in PGR/HGR, should I say, Victory Lane. It is the driver of the 31, and I got to imagine, if you have not heard an interview from this man before, I have no idea what we're about to hear from the driver in Victory Lane tonight. It was aggressive early on from the get-go for David Flanagan tonight, and he parlays it into a big win, not only for him, for that whole group over at the Jack Shack. They wanted to make another statement tonight. They did just that. Of course, captured the title a couple of months ago for the Light Series. Manages to come home with a win tonight, the Nightmare Before Christmas. Really starting to make his mark on the money racing scene. Is the 31 of David Flanagan. He's in HGR Victory Lane. David, it's Dawson in the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, wild scramble off turn 4. We'll start there. Daniel Eberhardt blows up on the inside. You execute a couple blocks. Take me through the scramble to the end from your perspective as you go to victory lane tonight.
Yeah, I knew going to the top that it was going to be risky, but I believed in my blocking ability and hopefully that they would just come down and side draft so we could just run away. And yeah, I saw Kenny dip down coming to the white to go down and side draft, and that's all I needed. And I trusted him enough, luckily. I didn't even know Eberhardt blew up on the bottom. I was just focused on getting to the wall, and then I knew he had nowhere else to go. So when he went low, I just blocked him all the way to the apron. And then after that, crossed the finish, Dawson.
Well, look, obviously, we've talked about in the past the championship you captured a couple months back in the Light Series. Now you come over to the Nightmare Before Christmas. You capture this win. We'll start with you personally first. What does this win mean to you as you leave Talladega a winner in a really stacked field of drivers?
Yeah, this was definitely a really big field. I love this new truck update. It's badass. Yeah, I won the recruitment race last night too, and it's perfect time to start getting hot. Gonna need the momentum going into the 500. Any confidence I can get, I'll take, and this was definitely a big one tonight.
Well, yeah, and talk about what it does for the team again really quickly. We know at this point, you know how aggressive the Jack Shack likes to be. The results are starting to come through now as well. It feels like more and more, not only for you, but for the team as a whole. It's a 3 trucks in the top 10 tonight for you guys, a 1-4 finish between you and Joe Huerta. Kind of take me through what it means for you guys as a team as well.
Yeah, man, I'll say it again. I'll say it every night. You know, we're the best team on the server. I'm arguably the best driver on the server. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put that out there. Baker, that one's for you. I was way better than Baker tonight, just letting y'all know. Yeah, we go out every race and we want to win, and that's the same attitude. We all want to win, and I think that's what puts us among the best of super speedway racing.
Well, a win for you tonight in the Nightmare Before Christmas here at HGR before we head into this Christmas break. Before we let you go and enjoy the winnings, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, of course. First, I'm going to start off with you. I hope when I rewatch this, I got some mega glazing going on from my boy. Thank you for the broadcast tonight. All my friends watching. I have no idea who was all watching, but I'll just start listing. Trey, Bryce, Jack, Jacob, Brady, Joe. Yeah, that's right, Joe. John, Brandon. I don't really know who else was watching. I'm sorry if I missed some people. Adam, of course, I love you. You should come back and race. And the margin of victory, if you check that out, bro, 6-7. Gotta love it. Have a great night, Dawson. Thanks, Jimmy Crow, by the way, for putting on the race, too.
Well, David, congratulations on the win tonight. Thanks for talking to me here for a second. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Exactly like I said, David Flanagan. You never know quite what you're going to get when David Flanagan ends up in the broadcast booth. Well, we're going to start to wrap things up tonight from Talladega Superspeedway. An incredible race tonight from Talladega. I'm telling you what, I had my doubts about this new truck aerodynamic package coming into the last couple weeks. I'd heard some pretty poor reviews of it. Guys saying, well, the lines don't really race anymore. You can't really do much. It's kind of gridlocked. Tonight threw all that out the window. We know now that when you get a big field like this, the racing can be outstanding. And tonight it was just that 2, 3, 4 wide at times throughout the field. Yeah, there were some crashes for sure, but when the race was under green, the racing was always good at the front of the field. So encouraging signs going forward for anybody that's a fan of this Craftsman truck. I imagine it's going to be a pretty popular choice headed forward now into this winter season. A big win tonight for David Flanagan and the Jack Shack, and a great race all around for all the drivers involved in this one. Again, we are off now for the Christmas break. Do want to wish everyone and their families a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And as we look forward into 2026, again, we started off bigger than ever. The PGR 500 is coming up right around the corner. February 2nd through the 8th, we're going to have the second annual Great American Sim Race over at Virtual Daytona. Get your entries in now. The entries are still open, pgresports.com. or the PGR Discord that is linked in the description below. It'll tell you the steps how to get in, how to get your entry in. If you want to try to win a free entry Monday night, another recruitment race opportunity. If you're one of the top 3 new drivers in the field, you win a free entry into the PGR 500 heat races coming up early in February. That's going to be a heck of an event. Last year, 240 showed up. It whittled down to 41 that started the feature. Of course, Daniel Falkingham won what ended up being a classic of a race on Sunday afternoon at Daytona. This year, sure to be just another mark higher than that one. It's going to be a lot of fun over at Daytona in February. Next time you will see myself, likely going to be sometime next week as we approach the year 2026. That's crazy to say. As we get into 2026 and head down the road to the PGR 500, I'm hoping to be back a lot more in the broadcast booth. Again, unsure about Friday Night Stars and Stripes shootout race. I'm not sure if that series is going to still run this week at this point. If it does, it will be right here on PGR eSports Friday night, later in the evening towards the 10:30 or 11 p.m. time slot. Want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and enjoying some Talladega racing with myself. Want to thank all the viewers. Want to thank all the drivers on the racetrack. Want to thank Jimmy Crow for hosting this race. It's a tough job to be the promoter. Jimmy Crow took that mantle up tonight and put on a good one here tonight at Talladega for High Gear Racing. I want to thank everybody involved tonight. Thank you so much again for watching. My name is Dawson Wise. You've been watching The Nightmare Before Christmas at Talladega. David Flanagan captures a big win tonight at Talladega and rides into the Christmas break with all kinds of momentum. Until next time, everybody have a great night. Merry Christmas to all. We'll see you next time.